Today I'm heading up to the coastal township of Rainbow Beach, but I'm taking the scenic route along what I call the Pacific Highway, and along the way I'll stop off at a few points of interest. This adventure starts with a barge ride across the Noosa River, and $7 gets you across to Noosa North Shore. I got me beach access permit, which you can get online at Queensland Parks and Wildlife Services, or they have an office about 100 metres before you drive onto the barge. For about $50, you can get access for up to 1 month. Just coming up to the spot where you can deflate your tyres in preparation for beach driving. And as usual, I'm going to drive straight past. If you're not very experienced at beach driving, it's a good idea to let your tyres down to about 20 psi. It'll make life a hell of a lot easier for you. Normal road rules do apply when you're driving on the beach because it's still a gazetted road. That's why I call it the Pacific Highway, but it's not really the Pacific Highway. Anyway, you got to abide by the speed limits, you got to wear a seatbelt, and you can't drink drive. All the standard road rules. However, there's only one difference up here, that you can pass an oncoming car on either side of the road or the beach, whatever you choose. All you got to do is put your indicator on to let the other driver know whether you're going to pass him on the left or on the right. So usually when you do that, if you put your right hand indicator on, the driver coming towards you will realise that you want to pass him on the sort of the unusual, the wrong side, and he'll acknowledge by putting his right hand indicator on, and then you just pass each other on the wrong side of the road, or the beach. And usually just give him a friendly wave after that, because everyone's happy to be up here. And why wouldn't you be? Just look at this joint. It's paradise. First stop is Red Canyon. We'll go up in there and have a bit of a look around and take in the view. Well, as I expected, it's pretty red up here, but it's well worth the climb, because look at that view. How good's that? You can check out all these different nooks and crannies when you're up around here. Now, that red colour in the sand is caused from the rusting of the mineral iron that was attached to the grains of sand. All the other colours that you see was just a variation of different minerals that was attached to all the sand molecules or the grains of sand, and then when they rusted, they leached out their colour. And that's how we got up to 72, get that, 72 different colours. These freshwater streams that I'm slowing down for are scattered all along the beach here, and you just have to be careful when driving through them because sometimes they make big washouts, especially after a lot of rain. The water from these freshwater streams is absolutely crystal clear, and there's a reason for that. The sand dunes here are about 80 metres high, and as the rain falls, it gets filtered through the sand. The average age of this water is, get this, 100 years old, which means some of the water fell as rain not long ago, has filtered through the sand dunes and come out here. Other water fell like 200 years ago, long before chemicals and pesticides were invented. It's travelled for kilometres and kilometres through these big sand dunes, through acres and acres of absolute wilderness, till it's come out here crystal clear. That's good enough for me to drink. Oh, that's so beautiful, it's so fresh. That's Double Island Point straight ahead, and that's where we're heading. I'm up on the soft sand right now because the tide's pushed me up there. It's really slow going, and I'm stuck in second gear, and I'm working the hell out of the engine. Just got to find a good park now so I can go and climb this hill. I don't want to park too far away from the entrance, but I've got to make sure I'm above the high water mark. I'd hate to come back from this hill climb and there's my truck swamped by the tide. There's a spot just between these two groups. Oops, I misjudged how soft the sand is here, and poor old Gertie couldn't make it up, so I'll go back for another go. Nah, no good. Third time lucky. I'll back it right down to the waterline and get a good hard run up. It'd be a hell of a lot easier if I just let some air out of the tyres, but I'm just too darn stubborn. Well, I've only come up about 100 metres, and I'll tell you what, already here, the view is to die for. Let's have a look. I'm about halfway up, and there's this interesting fishing shack that was built here in about 1950 by two brothers, Bob and George Page. Now, they were granted a special lease to build this here because they used to bring supplies up to the lighthouse that we're going to go up and see soon. So they picked this tucked away little place, protected by the winds, but just like 30 metres over there is this little rocky balcony that they probably had their deck chairs up there from day to day. What a beautiful spot. Anyway, the Page brothers have passed away sadly nowadays, which means their special lease was relinquished, and the Queensland Parks and Wildlife Services have it earmarked to refurbish this hut as a little tourist attraction. So I just had a bit of a walk around here and got to feel the serenity. It's pretty nice. It was a lot harder to get here in 1950 than it is today. There were no barges, no bitumen road into Rainbow Beach, In actual fact, Rainbow Beach didn't get built till 1969, so they were faced with kilometres and kilometres of rough, unkept, sandy tracks. There would have been trees falling across the road every time they attempted to come here. They were hard days. This lighthouse was built in 1884 and the original lamp was an oil wick burner. In 1923 it was upgraded to a gas mantle fuelled by vaporised kerosene. And in 1933 they put a couple of diesel generators up here and converted it to electricity. And finally in 1991 it changed over to solar. Well everybody, that's pretty much it for part 1, where we did Tiwa Beach. Tune in next week where we travel along Rainbow Beach and check out the coloured sands and the Carlo sand blow. See you then.